Hello beautiful people and welcome back to my channel. It's been a while since I posted my last video, but it's been kind of crazy busy, a lot of stuff has happened, so here I am back with a little update on what's been going on. So I mentioned in the last video that we were going to go on tour to Cuba, but unfortunately that tour was cancelled. Oh. I know, you're probably disappointed that you don't get to see me in Cuba, but I was really disappointed not to get to see me in Cuba. This is literally the one tour that I was really looking forward to this year. Unfortunately, just before we were gonna go, first of all, there was the hurricane, and then they had massive power outages, which led to kind of a lot of political unrest, as you would understand, if the people are left with no power for, a week on end. And the Monegasque government and the ballet company decided that it wouldn't be safe or appropriate for us to go, which is a huge shame. Yeah, like I said, it's the one place I wanted to go with this company on tour, because the last time they went was the year before I joined, and apparently it was like the best tour ever. It's like a tour of legends. They had the most incredible parties, and apparently it's just a beautiful country with beautiful people. So yeah, really bummed that didn't get to go. But the plan is hopefully to reschedule it for the new year in March or April. So fingers crossed that happens, because I do really want to go before I don't really have a reason to fly there anymore. So yeah, we didn't go to Cuba. And so I thought maybe I'd have like a week extra time to like get busy with work on my brand, but no. Our boss decided that the shows that we were preparing for should, be shown, because we put time and effort into the rehearsals. So we had studio shows of Coromeo in the atelier, and so we were busy with that for that week. But I did have a little bit of time, and that was like around Halloween, and so I decided to make another mini veil. So for those of you who do already follow me on social media, on Instagram and TikTok, you'll have seen that I've been making little mini veils, little embroidered mini veils over the year. And so I decided it'd be really fun to do a Halloween version. I spent the evenings of that week creating a little like beaded mini veil with black tulle and red glass beads to give a little like spooky, murdered Black Widow feel. So I did that. Let me know in the comments if you want to see a more in-depth video of how I made that. But yeah, that was a lot of fun. That was a really cute little like embroidery project to kind of get some creativity out there. I mean, in a way, it's like there's been a lot going on behind the scenes, but it doesn't feel like a lot has happened at the same time. It's one of those strange things, where like you feel like you're super busy, but it's also just like all of the daily stuff. I thought I was going to have so much more time to like dedicate to preparing stuff for my future for next year. And somehow I've been like busier than ever, like many more rehearsals than, for instance, my husband, who is not quitting this year. And somehow I'm still working double the amount that he is. I'm hoping everything's going to ease off a little bit after Christmas so that I can actually start doing work and prepping and do all of the things that I have planned. So let me tell you a little bit of what's been going on in the background. I remember telling you about working on my branding to like really create the brand and make it look super professional and beautiful. So I reached out to a brand designer who I found on Pinterest, as you do. I'd been looking for ages, and I'd realized that I reposted really beautiful like branding things from the same brand designer, which I then clicked on and I found. She's a Dutch woman who lives and works in Australia. And I was like, okay, beautiful stuff. I'll reach out to her and see. And she was really happy to work with me. And we're now on second round of revisions, and we're getting so close to being finished. And it's so exciting because the work that she has done is incredibly beautiful. And I can't wait to just like plaster it on everything and use it. And I can't wait to show you. But it's not quite finished yet. I'm going to give you a tiny little sneak peek of what she's done, but I'll do a whole dedicated video on how we did the branding together and that whole journey. Actually, I do have some exciting news for like my business. I have 3 confirmed brides for the next year, 2 wedding dresses, and a really fun like wedding cape, which is almost double what I usually have. Like usually per year I have like one, maybe two, or like one dress, one veil. And now I've got like 2 full dresses with veils, plus an extra like cape. That's going to be really exciting to work on. I actually have my first in-person meeting with one of my clients tomorrow to do measurements, to finish discussing the design and everything. So I'm really excited about that. Yeah, it's nice. It's nice to see that the work that I've put in over the last few years is starting to pay off on my socials, all of the sort of marketing that I'm doing. And I know I need to be doing better and I need to be more consistent, but it is incredibly difficult. Right now I feel like I'm doing 3, sometimes 4 jobs at the same time. I'm a full-time ballet dancer, so I'm doing that during the daytime and rehearsing and performing and going on tour. Then I'm like a social media manager and trying to like update all of my different socials constantly and make reels. So I'm also like a videographer, and then I'm now started the beast of YouTube. And then I'm also like sewing and making and designing, and so like, yeah, it's a lot. The other thing that I've been working on, maybe you can see in the background, there's lots of tulle and a veil pinned to the dress form. I told you I'm planning to add a shop section to my website where I want to sell veils that all brides, if they're looking for a simple veil, can easily purchase off my website. And then I'm obviously planning on adding more intricate things, different offerings like bridal gloves, little bags, headpieces, those kind of things. So if you're not fully committed to having a dress made by me, that you can then still purchase something that was made by me, because everything is made by me here in my studio in Nice. That's what I'm making right now, is a bunch of sample veils for a photo shoot so that I can have my products up on my website in the new year. One really fun thing that we had last weekend, which was like my first big costume ball. For context, my big teacher, Jean-Michel, is unfortunately leaving the ballet this year after over 30 years with Les Ballets de Monte-Carlo as the head of the costume atelier. And to celebrate him and his career, the ballet organized a beautiful big costume ball. So Jean-Michel, apart from making costumes for the ballet, he makes the most incredible, elaborate costumes for himself. Everything from, you know, the 15th century to the 19th century, and the amount of detail he puts into them and the historical accuracy are just like peak goals for me. The entire atelier where we work was just transformed into a beautiful ballroom. Jean-Michel asked us to learn a quadrille, and a quadrille is a historical dance that would be danced at balls with 4 couples, and I've always wanted to learn one. So picture sort of like Bridgerton or Pride and Prejudice, where they're all either in squares or in lines, and they're all dancing the same steps. And it was just like all of my costume dreams had come true, to learn like historical dance and then do it at a ball. Obviously I needed something to wear. First, when he told me he was going to have the party, I thought, okay, I'm going to make a whole new costume. The time and effort that goes into making like a whole new historical accurate costume is insane, and I just didn't have the time. So I thought it would be appropriate to bring my first ever costume that I sewed, and basically the first ever thing that I really like made, back out of its box, which is a version of an 18th century robe à la française that I made when I was 20. Yeah, like it was the first thing I ever made, and I took it out of the box and I was so, I don't want to say embarrassed, because it's also stupid. Obviously, like I was 20, I didn't know any better, and I was for the first time following a sewing pattern and, you know, learning how to use a machine and all those things. But my goodness, was it messy. Like, I'm really happy to see now that I obviously know the difference between when something is well finished or well made versus like what I did back then. I mean, the armholes weren't finished, nothing was finished. There were just loose threads everywhere, like none of the threads had been clipped. So this time I thought, okay, I'm going to take a week, I'm going to do it properly with the knowledge that I have now and make it look the best that it can. So I added a bunch of bows and a bunch of ruffles and made it a whole lot more rich and beautiful. And it was really nice. It was really nice to like revisit something that I haven't touched in over 15 years, but also something that I knew he would really appreciate because he loves the 18th century. And So yeah, that was really fun, but that also took like a whole week that I could have also used to do more business productive things, but it was really worth it. The ball was amazing. I had so much fun. It was just, yeah, like I said, all of my dreams come true. Oh, and I forgot, we also went on tour to Shanghai. We also went on tour to China for like a week, which I have a whole vlog coming on that. But yeah, as you can see, over the last like month, I've been pretty crazy busy, and it's not going to stop. Christmas time is coming up, which is always the busiest time for ballet dancers. We've got 2 different programs coming up now. No, 3. I missed one. 3 different programs coming up now. Hopefully my branding is going to be finished by next week, so then I can't wait to make a video about that for you. I'm hopefully going to get all of my veils shot, so I'm going to show you that, how I'm preparing all of the products that I'm putting on my web shop, and I'll show you the shooting day, which my wonderful friend Michael has agreed to do with me. I think that's it for now. I think that's plenty. That's plenty to go off. So I know that was all a lot. That was a lot of sort of rambling and going over my life, and it was pretty crazy. But if you're interested to see all of those things that I spoke about, then first of all, like this video, subscribe so that you can see all the other stuff, and give me a little comment if there's anything you want to see or something you are particularly interested in. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed and know what's going on in my life, and I can't wait to see you next time. Bye!